Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Life is Better with Music with Gavin and Mitchell. So last week, again, we kind of had to skip just due to last minute situations. Hopefully, as we get out of the busy summer, we can slowly just start going back to that weekly. Trust me, we don't ever want to have to skip an episode because we love diving into this conversation. But it actually works out kind of better this way. So we're going to dive into some BOA today. But before we do that, today, the day you're watching this, June 28th, is tour premiere. So make sure
Woo!
you're watching some of the DCI shows premiering and make sure you're staying all up to date on that. Because next week's episode is going to be all the shows in between, I think, June 28th and up to July 3rd, because there's none on the 4th. And that next
Right.
episode will be July 5th. So we'll have a nice chunk of shows to watch clips of and look at some scores, see kind of how the start of the year is going. And we'll talk briefly drum corps at the end of this, just because it is starting today as of you watching this. Um, but we're gonna stick to some BOA today. We're gonna dive into some BOA open mic, kind of like what we were doing with um the DCI stuff the past two episodes. So, what year, Mitchell, would you like to dive into?
What year would you like to dive into? I'm pretty open on whatever you would like to do.
Well,
Whichever year we would like to start out with. We could start out with 16, my first year, and um,
that I don't know. So, should we crush your dreams first, or should we boost your dreams first?
let's just get the pain out of the way.
Okay, so 2019 then.
All right. Well, if we're gonna start, we might as well start talking about 2022.
You mean this past season
Yeah, yeah.
where Tarpon got fifth again? Again.
Mm-hmm. Precisely. So who beat him?
That
It
was
was
a
Carmel, Avon, Broken Arrow. Oh, then Mason. That's right. Mason beat you. Ah, got him.
yeah.
Get pranked. Giggity.
Though our show was a kick-ass show, I'm just saying.
I mean, it was cool.
Oh, I mean it was cool. No,
No, it
listen.
was cool.
Tarpon gets hated because we
I
do
had
stuff
nothing
out of
wrong
the
with it.
box.
I didn't dislike it. Let's see what Horn Rank. Horn Rank has all the records. I I didn't dislike it. I didn't. I thought it was actually pretty cool. I thought it was gonna be top four, but or top three maybe. I thought it was either because I think Mason would have been, I think Mason deserved to be up there. I think that Broken Arrow, I mean to be fair, getting
I mean,
fifth, getting
we
fifth to the
already
groups Tarpon did, that's not a bad thing.
well that again like it's still a great accomplishment being top five in the nation. But
Right.
I think and we talked about this when BOA season ended, but the thing about Tarpon's show and Tarpon always gets kind of beaten on the head for it is when we do stuff out of the box, the older judges tend to not like that. They don't like some of the themes that we do. Like
Right.
RP1, and we'll get to RP1 when we hit 2018,
hmm
but that's kind of a similar situation. We went out of the box and we got like deducted for it. It's
hmm
just it's the bias of judging. That's where I'm kind of driving the point. Is a lot of people like Broken Arrow show. Broken Arrow compared to Tarpon. I'm not trying to be biased, but Tarpon's show is more interesting. And Broken Arrow had a hard task of doing a part two.
I
Though
I
they had a
think
good show, though. I mean,
I think both Tarpon and Broken Arrow were good in different ways.
I agree with that. Yes.
I don't think that um I think that Broken Arrow is a little more dirty um musically, and then I think Tarpon was a little bit more dirty visually,
I can see that.
personally. If I'm comparing those two. If I'm comparing Carmel and Tarpon, I think musically they were pretty on par with each other.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Maybe
would say Carmel and Tarpon musically,
I think Carmel was a little stronger in music just
because your
because of
music's easy.
no,
Yes,
no.
it is.
It just seemed richer and a warmer sound.
Because it's
And
easy and it's whole notes.
I mean,
I'm
we get
just saying,
rewarded for it.
we're open micing this. Listen,
We're open
yeah,
micing this. Yeah,
listen,
we're rewarded for it. So like, if it
listen.
ain't broke,
You
don't
can
fix
do
it.
easy stuff and be rewarded for it, but I just
Yeah,
think when you do something more technical and it sounds and you do it clean, it should not be deducted just because it's more technical.
I
It's
think visually is where Tarpon Show suffered.
I disagree.
Really?
I think visually they had a strong run, not as strong as semifinals. It was either prelims or semis. They had a really good run visually, but finals was
Let's
not
see.
too par on that. But still, they didn't have like a crappy run. I would like it was
So
still a good run.
so Tarpon actually was 0.05 better than Carmel in visuals and prelims, but they were sixth in music compared to Carmel's second.
Who got
Um,
first?
Broken Arrow
Broken Arrow. I thought so.
by like 0.85.
Well, and this is the hard thing
But
about
to
this
be
past
fair, it's
year.
a different judge panel, so you can't really.
Exactly.
But Carmel and Tarpon were on the same judge panel, so that was that was a very good direct comparison.
Yeah. Well, and
And
here's my thing: is this past
right.
year was pretty competitive for BOA. There
Oh,
was a lot of
100%.
great shows,
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah,
it was
most
kind of a
definitely.
nail on a dartboard, like it or
Yeah.
a dart on a dartboard. It's like anyone could have taken it at that point.
I think that and then in semis where we have the entire panel, Carmel beat Tarpon in music by 0.45.
That's not by
Um,
much.
and then Carmel beat Tarpon in visual by zero point 0.6. And then GE, Carmel and Tarpon tied. And Mason won GE.
Yeah, they deserved it.
Oh, yeah, I thought Mason had a really cool show.
Their
I
show was
really
fun.
that it was interesting. It was very Wes Cartwright because that's who does their show, but you can tell if it's Wes Cartwright's
Hmm
show by it's very, very, very colorful. Um, which is
It,
nice. I don't dislike it. Like I
I
don't
will.
have a problem with it.
I do just want to throw out there, out of the top six, Carpin's Drill is definitely the hardest.
Yeah,
It
maybe.
routinely is. Look
But
at
how
Flight of
clean?
the. Look
Okay,
at
okay, okay, but how clean was it? But how clean was it? That's my
yes,
question.
but what I'm saying is I'm not saying it was fully clean. I'm just saying we have the hardest drill on routine.
Okay. All right.
Voyage to Valhalla. Compare that in RP1.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll give you that.
Pandora and whatever show you did in 2016. Compare it.
Oh, Adagio Presso's drill was very, very, very complex.
Come on,
Uh,
dude.
it was.
Pandora.
It's been a while since I've
Oh,
watched Pandora, so I'll
and
have to refresh
you also got to
myself.
remember with Tarpon, our props are a part of the drill. So
Right?
that's more things that we need to make sure are in drill spots. That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying Tarpon's drill is routinely harder because we have Mr. Ford who writes for Blue Stars.
Yeah.
we're his testing ground.
I'll be
just
seeing
like
his drill. I'll be seeing his drill on Friday.
just like with Matt Harloff with Avon. It's a testing ground for both.
And now the new head director of Avon, Matt Harloff. Yeah, I
Matt
forgot about
Harloff.
mentioning that. Um, but overall, I think it was a pretty strong year. My favorite shows of the year were probably Carmel, Castle, Hebron.
Castle, yeah. Hebron, yeah.
Oh, I loved Hebron.
Hebron show was
Uh,
awesome. I wish they came
Hebron's
to Indy.
Hebron's ballad was really solid. Um, who else did I like? Um,
There's a lot of great shows this year.
there were a lot of great shows this year. There was
If I
Plymouth Canton did a Back to the Future show
yeah.
with the DeLorean. That was very cool. I like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, I love when bands do like established movie franchise shows,
Yeah.
like Mason with Top Gun. Oh my God, I love that show.
Tarpon with Mad Max. Tarpon with Ready Player
Yeah,
One.
I loved RP1. Um,
Tarpon with that like flashback Beatles movie, whatever it was,
I'm
whatever that
gonna
one
be
was called.
honest. I didn't see Prosper in finals, or I didn't like think Prosper would be in finals. Neither did I think Hendrickson would be in finals.
Yeah, me
Um,
either.
I
Who
thought
did we
that
think was?
Mustang looked good. American Fork looked good.
Yeah,
Mullen
I
Gene
remember this
Johnson
debacle. We had like
and
three
James
other
F.
people.
Burns.
Yeah, we had like three other people we thought would have been in finals besides those two.
Yeah,
Not like like
Homestead,
insulting
who's been in a
anybody.
little bit of a rough patch recently. They were 16th in semis and they almost made finals. Um,
Was
and
Mustang
then
what
Mustang was
who
the
Texas Hold'em show? Was that them?
no, that was Johnson.
Who? Yeah, that show was really good. That was
I
probably my
didn't watch it
favorite.
too closely. I liked Grain Valley from Missouri last year. They did a show about chains and they used
Oh, was that
separate
them?
ways. Yeah.
Okay, that was that show with like the
Plymouth Canton.
inflatables.
Oh, oh, I loved Murray High School from Kentucky. Bourbon sounded fire as usual. Um, Archbishop Alter. Okay, here's the one thing that I did not like about this year. I
Hmm.
did not like Archbishop Alter winning 1A. I
I'm
had an
indifferent.
issue. I had an issue with it because it was sit on the stage, park and bark. But when you have Bourbon, when you have Murray, when you have Beechwood, who all moved and did a lot more than Archbishop Alter did, I
Okay, so
I didn't like
give me
it.
a second. With what you just said, and you can't like redact that comment. What you
No.
just said is it's more impressive when people move and play,
Yes.
right? So when Tarpon moves and plays,
It's cool.
Carmel doesn't move and play. Oh, you just got caught.
I didn't
You
get
just got
caught. I'm just
caught.
saying. I'm just saying I didn't think that Archbishop Alter really deserved 1A in my opinion. I thought it should have been one of the Kentucky three. I think Murray should have had a real good shot at it. I think Bourbon should have had a real good shot at it. Beechwood, I hoped didn't because specifically because I had one issue with their show. They played Great Gig in the Sky, which that's not the issue. It's not the issue. They gave Ben Gunnarsson solo to a tenor.
Oh, I do remember that. I remember that conversation with you.
Boo!
Listen, Mitchell.
I don't care if you have a tenor saxophone player that's really cracked out of his mind, but that is a flugel solo, and
Mitchell.
you do not give it to a woodwind.
Mitchell.
No, that
We
had me
can't
heated.
we can't stay on 2022 the whole
Right. Okay.
podcast.
All right. All right. All right. End of 2022. 2021. Broken Arrow broke the score record. Woo. Cool.
Definitely deserved it. Their show was awesome. Hands
I,
down.
I think I'm not gonna. No, their show
No.
was fit. No, I'm not saying Carmel should have
No.
won. I'm
Okay.
not saying Carmel should have won. I'm saying it should have been much closer. I don't think
What was
they
that
should
show
have.
for you guys again?
The Expanse.
Oh, hell
Um,
no.
Rhapsody on Theme
No.
Paganini. Yes, the music. Oh my God. Um, I had an issue
That's
with um. I mean, Flower Mound won music, but Flower Mound is Flower Mound, which is cool. It's fine. But
Paramount.
a 1.2 point difference. I don't agree with that. Although we were point 0.1 behind him in Vige, and where they got their big lead was GE, which
Go figure.
I don't think it should have been that far away.
Oh,
I thought it should have
Lord.
been point 0.5. I don't
Oh, you're out of your mind.
point 0.5, point 0.6.
Point
Favorite shows from
seven.
okay, sure. Um, point or my favorite shows, Woodlands, they played Tank from Cowboy Bebop, just like
Hmm.
Blue Devils did this summer. I really liked Claudia Taylor.
Claudia
I
Taylor had a great
loved
show.
Mason. I loved Wando, which rest in peace, Wando. That's stupid. They shouldn't have lost to Blue Springs. They were 100% robbed. Um, by 0.05, they missed out on finals. Castle was meh. I didn't hate him. I didn't love him. Um, Who else had a memorable show in 21?
I mean,
Bourbon is
Tarpon had
Bourbon,
Oz, but they didn't go to
right?
finals and
No.
stuff.
I mean, that was a cool show though. Murray had a really good show from Kentucky. They won the 1A competition. Bourbon was really good too. Um, who else really stood? I didn't like the Avon show because I just did not like I didn't like the uniforms. I didn't like the show. It just didn't stick with me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Uh, Broken Arrow, sure, they should have won. Fine. Not debating that. Should it have been that far of a gap? No. Not in my opinion. Um, let's see. Oh, that's right. Tarpon lost music to Dobbins Bennett at Johnson City. Lol.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, woo yeesh. Woo boy. By .05, but like still when I don't know how
It's
Tarpon
like
loses music
it's
to
it's like okay, wait. So
Hebron was real good. Hebron Pinstriped was fantastic. Um,
move on
but
to
yeah.
2019.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Carmel absolutely deserved the placement they got, and Hebron definitely deserved to win over Vandegrift. That is
I
my
agree with
take.
half that statement.
Yeah. Oh well, I think Carmel should have been like second or third place.
I think we should have been third.
And
I
who's
think we should have
second?
been third. Either I'll say Vandergrift.
That's wow. So the Vandegrift did perform better than you. Okay.
I'm trying to decide which show I disliked the least out of Avon and Vandergrift, and I thought was the most mid. I thought
Avon did
Avon's
not have a
show.
good show that year,
Oh, Avon's show
personally.
in 19 was mid as all get out.
I
Eight
liked the
notes, eight
Goldfish
perfect
show the
notes.
year before.
I liked Goldfish show better than that show. Um, I didn't like Vandergrift show. It was whatever. Um,
Does it beat them?
Hebron, Hebron, I loved.
Hebron had a
Absolutely
stellar show.
disgustingly clean musically, and they actually won individual marching, um, individual visual, which is fun. Um, and they really showed out. Ronald Reagan was really good that year. Um, Leander was meh, and Leander after 19 really fell off, and now they are not even in San Antonio finals. The Woodlands was
Ruh-roh.
okay. Um, favorite shows from 19. I liked Carmel, I liked Hebron. Who I'm trying to think. I'm trying to use my
You're
brain here.
you're you're free. So listen, we're talking about the most debatable things, okay, and the most controversial things.
Let's see.
So let's
Vandergrift should either have been second or fourth, and I'm leaning towards because it's either Avon at second or Vandergrift at second, and I really don't want to say Avon at second because that show was not it. Um,
well,
so
Carmel, sorry, but
we should have been
leading
top
in
three. We should have been top three.
leading into the other side of the conversation for 2019 is
Hebron was robbed.
no. That it's the first time Tarpon didn't win anything in a BOA thing.
Oh, that's right. They got yeeted.
So
They got
story.
cowboyed.
So since we don't do BOA like Atlanta super regional anymore, since it's kind of not a thing, they've changed it all up and stuff since Mercedes-Benz racked up the prices. Um, we started going to the Orlando regional, and usually, oh, that's a cakewalk. It's a bunch of Florida bands, and then usually Wando, who we would compete with, and like musically, because in 2018 we had tied music. I'm pretty sure, or no, it
Something
was
like that.
it was 2017 we tied music at
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mercedes Benz. I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But again, 2019 we got Revolution Remix that if we definitely took it to Indy, I don't think would if even made finals. Honestly, I feel like we'd be like first out.
I think
maybe
you get
maybe
carried in by the
maybe
name
11 to
alone.
12.
I think you get carried in by the name, but not by far.
Yeah, like 10, 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah, you would beat Ayala
Yeah.
and
So
Union, but
Broken
I don't know
Arrow
if you would beat Round Rock.
decided to take a Disney trip, and I
Yeehaw.
think they're doing it this year too, and
Yup.
came all the way down from Oklahoma just to perform in Orlando. And it
Just to
was
yeet you.
yeehaw. And we were like,
Yeet.
great. And then the next day, we're all performing and we're all having a great time. And then we
Yeah.
know it's going to be a heated performance. And then we were hoping that the Florida humidity and the heat would get to them
Oh
because
no.
it got to us in 2018 and we march in Florida.
Yeah,
Then we
no.
got second, and
You
then
got hit
we
with the
all spent
cowboy.
yeah, and then we all spent the next day at Universal with Wando, just harping on Wando, chilling at Universal.
You tied music to cowboy show, and you lost visual by .05,
That
and
was
then you got yeeted
stop,
in GE by a point.
stop. Listen, it's the first time like Tarpon had not won anything BOA because usually we'd win the super regional or regionals we'd go
Yeah.
to, and
Just curious, you guys have like an end of year banquet, right?
yeah, we do.
I was to say, what did Ford say about that?
Well, what this there's this thing about Mr. Ford is what he knows we're not going to get a good placement, not because of our performance ability, whether it's like he's the judge panel came out or
Yeah.
um he knows another group's there that it has a really good show. Not
Yeah.
because we will perform our best and just someone
Right.
outperformed us.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I mean,
Quite
and it's
simply
biased to
got.
judges. Every judge panel is different. Who's to say if that was a different panel in Orlando, Harper would have won. Who
Yeah.
knows? You never know. Um, but he didn't really say anything negative. We don't really talk about that type of stuff. We more just
No.
kind of enjoy the end of the year and kind of celebrate seniors and awards and stuff.
Yeah.
But I do remember throughout the season, I think he was trying to do something different that year, and
Yeah.
I don't think it kind of turned out in his favor
No, it
personally.
backfired, I
It
think.
was not my favorite show. He changed his whole part structure, and I get it. We weren't going to Indy. It's the best year to do that.
Yeah.
But I think we all kind of expected it being he prepped us for it mentally, like we're not the big fish now in
Yeah.
Florida. One Broken Arrow's there. They're the big fish. So
Yeehaw.
but he told us obviously be supportive. They support us, we support them.
Oh yeah, of
Um
course.
we have like it's like a frenemy relationship with Broken Arrow. We're like, oh, we're like technically rivals, but we love each other.
That's kind
Um
of how like the top four bands are, like Broken Arrow, Tarpon, Avon, and Carmel.
mhm.
I have a feeling
Well, you and
it's
you and Avon don't get along.
no, no. Quite simply, make one less mistake and this rivalry doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well,
We'll get to
and
that.
leading from that, let's go into 2018. And before we
Yeah.
even get into Indy, let's talk about the Orlando one. So this is the first year Tarpon went back to Orlando because
Right, because it
BOA
was,
stopped
yeah.
Mercedes
BOA
Benz,
said, you know what, let's do Orlando.
and that performance, we're Florida performers, so we should have been
Hmm.
ready. But it's Tarpon's routinely used to performing in the evening or inside of a dome,
Hmm.
and that was the first time we performed at like 12 or 1, and the soles were melting off our shoes. People were passing out on the field
Dang.
during RP1. It was blistering hot. We're in
Huh.
these black uniforms. Like
Yeah.
it is just painful. Like we're just going through the
Hmm.
motions. Like it was bad. But I know Wando came. I don't know if we tie them in anything? I don't think we did
Uh,
with
did
RP1.
Wando come in 18? I don't think they
I
did.
I thought they did. I
I
thought
don't
Wando
think
did come in
so.
18, and then we were like excited for them to come back at 19. Maybe they didn't
No,
come in 18.
no, they didn't. It was Tarpon, Park Vista, Harrison in 18. And then Stoneman Douglas in fourth. And
Mm, I think they were supposed to, or it was rumored that they were going to, and then they didn't.
ah,
Something like that, I think.
that would make more sense.
Um, but then RP1, we got our behinds whooped by Mother Nature in the Orlando regional.
Uh-huh.
first year doing it, and Ford was like, "Yep." Because the thing is, he was trying to prep us for that. He was like,
Yeah.
"Listen, we're gonna start wearing sweatshirts to rehearsal so we can start bulking up for it." And it still wasn't enough. Like we need 3 sweatshirts. It was bad.
Yeah.
And um, but what I was saying earlier about how like Ford kind of preps us. So
Yeah.
the day of the East Lake Classic for us, which is one of our last couple of shows before Indy,
Mm-hmm.
um, he had pulled us aside after the performance, and he doesn't always do that, not every
No.
time. Like especially when we're away from home, he tries to make it quick.
Right.
This was the same day the judge panel came out for Indy,
Oh.
and he was like the whole season he was going guns blazing, like, listen, like we gotta clean this, we gotta clean this. This needs to be perfect. This needs to be perfect. Hi, Brass, if you don't play that right, I'm gonna lose
You
my mind,
cut.
and
Yeah.
you're gonna track around the track playing it 100 times in a row, like
Oh, that
it was like
sucks.
guns and blazing, and
Yeah.
like because it was a strong show. RP1 hands down was
Right.
like one of
Yeah.
Tarpin's best shows, and so that he sat us all down in the East Lake parking lot and was like, listen, I want you guys to all understand. Like we just came off a victory. We're happy. East Lake's our rival. Like we won at East Lake. Like we kind of get hyped up for that performance.
Right.
Um, but then it's like he like kind of sits us down and he's like, listen, I need you guys to all understand that. Um, I need you guys to all understand that you guys are the hardest working group in a long time, and you guys I need you guys to understand that you guys perform the best you can every day, and basically kind of just telling us that like we're amazing, and
Yeah.
that he's really proud of how far we've come and that we have a lot more progress to make, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not doubting us in any way.
No.
But he also said, don't let any he kind of said something along the lines of like, don't let anybody judge you based off your performance when you put the best out there on the field. And
Oh,
all you
really?
can do is put the best out there. And this was the
Right.
same day the judge panel came out. And everyone
I
was like,
see. Oh,
we're not gonna.
no.
And then going into it, I mean, prelims run, we had some malfunctions, semis a little better. But then
Controller disconnected.
finals hands down was like everyone's best performance. So
Right.
we
Yeah,
went into
as it should be.
finals and
Yeah.
retreat like feeling at
Confident.
least
Yeah.
top three. Like,
Oh,
come on.
yeah. No, no. You guys should have been top
And
three.
we were also hands down fan favorite. Fan favorite. You can't even tell me we weren't.
No. No.
That and
Yeah.
Broken Era. Like,
Yes. I liked Broken Arrows a lot. I like Broken Arrow and Tarpon a lot in 18. Um, just curious, what did he say after finals for results?
um, so I mean,
Was he
what we had
like,
retreat.
was he like, oh, we were robbed or something? Or
No, I mean, when we got, I think it was, yeah, went back into the
what? Yeah.
I don't know if it was a lot. I think it was inside one of the practice halls.
Oh, yeah.
We got back into one of those because again we were getting ready to get back on the bus,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulled us all together. We sang the band song. He gave us a speech. Like, listen, like you put like that was like the best tarpon run I've ever seen in this stadium, and you guys like basically like he's like you guys kicked ass. Like awesome
Right.
run. Couldn't be any more proud of you. I want you to
No.
look to the
Yeah.
people on your left and right. Like that show. That's the last that's the last time that show's gonna be performed on that field with these people. And you guys did amazing out there. I couldn't be any more proud. The staff's proud. So basically, like,
Right.
he brought us up because again, he knew
Yeah.
because of the judge panel I was judging. He knows how people judge. He's really smart. Kevin Ford
No.
is
Oh,
a very
100%.
smart man, and there's a lot of directors that they as soon as they see a judge panel, like we do that at, like Heights, like when we see a judge panel, like okay, we need to improve this a lot more this week
Yeah.
and focus on this and focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
And Carmel does the same thing, I guarantee.
Oh,
They see a
100%.
judge
Yeah.
panel, they're like, okay, we got to work on this week. This needs to be top notch. Like it's
Right.
so, and then like kind of like the biases here and there. Like if you have a younger panel of judges, say a Tarpon show probably doesn't need to be on high of its toes. But if it's like kind of an older panel, that's kind of like you don't want to perform RP1 in a way. That's kind of how I'm putting it. But everyone had a decent show in 2018, I think, as well.
You want to hear Kevin's thoughts because I know these are Kevin's thoughts personally because I've asked him about this before. He thinks he thinks the Tarpon show peaked a little early, is what he told me.
I disagree. We only did one BOA show.
Right, right.
And
And
county judging is completely different.
oh no, 100%. I know that. I'm thinking his reasoning for that is because everything just like at the one show before, because Kevin was actually at Nats that year in 18, with his band, his small rinky-dink Texas or Kentucky band.
Uh-huh.
Um, and he watched finals, he watched everything. Um, his thoughts were that it should have been. I mean, what didn't Tarpon get or Broken
We
Arrow
got
get fourth or
we
fifth?
got
Yeah,
fifth.
okay, you got fifth. He thought the show peaked a little early. That's his words, not mine. Um,
I think it peaked right at the right time. If he wasn't performing on the field with us.
no, no.
Like,
I
trust
just
me, every show we got better. And
oh
that's the
no,
thing.
100%, yeah.
And
I
like
think that
because
I mean, I think every
finals was our best
show.
performance. If
Oh
I mean,
no.
I don't
I
so
think but I think you know this as well that every show has a ceiling. I think he thinks that that ceiling was reached in finals and there were shows with a higher ceiling.
I mean, sure, I guess he can view it that way.
Yeah,
But
I
we
think
didn't
that's
peak
the
too
way.
early. We just didn't peak high enough in that sense then. Because we peaked at the right time.
I'll have
Finals
to
was
see what he
hands down our
says
best run.
because I am now genuinely curious again what he said about
Because
his explanation. He thought,
like listen to RP1. Listen to
"Oh
that
no, yeah.
saxophone feature. Listen to the pure
No,
imagination
that's
hit
what
at
I'm
the end.
saying. Like at
Like
Orlando, I watched the Orlando finals run of that sax feature. I mean, it was
it
pretty
was
clean.
I mean, it was not as finals, it was
Oh, well,
crisp.
no, of course.
Like
Yeah, of
it was
course. It's gonna be, but I think what he's trying to say is that like it was already clean or it was already that clean or that level of clean that early.
it was a decent level of clean. I see what he's saying, but I'm just
Right.
saying like
I think
you
that's what
have
he's
to
saying for
really
like the
listen
result of the
close.
I think that's I think that's what he's thinking for the entire show. That it was already pretty clean in Orlando. I think he's saying they maxed out what they got.
They maybe maxed out in finals, but I don't think we were clean in Orlando. Not when we were tripping on our feet and shit.
I mean,
I
from
will
all of us
admit
over
it.
at Carmel, we watched the like we watched the finals run and we're like, oh, okay, game over. This is over. They
I mean,
win.
it was clean. It's just
No, yeah,
we came off of a really bad prelims, semifinals run, whatever they prefer to call it in regionals.
right,
Um, and went into finals now being able to kick behind because
yeah,
now it's in the afternoon and
right,
it's dark out. We can actually breathe and not be
yeah,
we can't not see the drum major. Like it's
right. I
but
think.
like
Do I think Tarpon and Broken Arrow should have been that low? No, I think I should have. I think it should have been Carmel, Tarpon, Broken Arrow.
well, yeah. I can agree with that top three. But and again my thing with it was just too out there. It's
I don't know
just
if it was
that's
too out there.
well, Tarpon has always gone big.
Right.
They've always done something new,
They're
and
pushing
some
the
people don't
envelope.
like it. Some people don't
And
like it.
I loved it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really cool take on RP1. Um,
Like we had TV screens playing Geometry Dash.
controller disconnected.
Like we had
I've
cool
sent you that. I know
costumes.
you've seen that. I know
I
you've
know
seen the
it's
Xbox.
yeah, trust me, I know. But here's my thing.
I loved
And
that.
like again, like pardon how I say this, but RP1 was hands down my like my favorite damn show
No,
that
yeah.
I've ever been in because
Oh,
it's just
100%.
fun show and I would never want to march any other show over that one. Perfect.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's
Like if you
valid.
could tell me, oh, you could be in Crown 2015 Inferno, like one of my favorite shows for drum corps, I'd say no. I'd rather be in RP1. RP1 was just such a fun show,
Oh yeah.
and it's also I just want to preface this from 2017 Tarpon to
Oh,
2018.
it grew, yeah,
Woohoo!
exponentially.
And we went from like 8 mellophones to like 14, I think.
Dang, that's
So we almost
almost
doubled our
doubled.
number
Yeah.
in
Damn,
one
Shawty.
year.
Um, yeah, but I wasn't too high on Blue Springs. I was very shocked. I
I
think they took
I'm
visual.
surprised they should have been fifth personally.
Oh, 100%. I agree too.
When we
Let me
heard they got
see.
third, we were like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Are you
whoa,
serious? They
whoa.
got second. They got second in semis, and they beat us in visual. And I remember sitting in the band room. We were listening. We were like, "Oh my God, let's go. We got music in semis. Let's go. That's hype." And then they say visual, Blue Springs. We're all just like, WTF?
Didn't
Who?
like in 2018, didn't like each of you get like didn't all of you get something? Like didn't Broken Arrow get something as well?
Mm-mm.
No. I
Well, actually, I lied. I lied. Broken Arrow tied us in music, and then
Okay,
we got
that's what it
JE.
was. Because I
Yeah,
remember hearing a lot of names during that, like the like the
the
bigger.
foray. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, whoa,
that's a
it's good.
lot
It's
of
tense up
names.
there. Because
That's a
when
lot
you
of
hear
names.
Tarpon stuff,
It's
uh,
like,
oh, 2A, okay, Tarpon's gonna get 2A. It's like
right,
it's
until someone,
oh wow. That's why I wish like we were a little bigger, or you guys were a
yeah,
little smaller, so we could all meet in that 3A gap. So it was like, oh, now we see the difference between scores like really close. Like,
yeah, that's a. I don't. I wish Tarpon High School was bigger. I wish
yeah, me
Tarpon Springs High
too.
School was bigger because
Get rid
that
of East
way,
Lake. Get rid of East Lake. Everyone comes to Tarpon.
you
Bigger
know
band, bigger
what?
school.
Bigger band, bigger school. Yeah, that's right. Um, that,
Yeah,
but
that would definitely increase our band's
having a
size.
big band is a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword in the way of you can't clean everything.
And you can't do as much unique stuff with drill.
Right.
You because you
But
got so many kids, you got to throw some kids somewhere. It's like
at the same time, with the bigger band, you can
you
really
have more
stretch the field.
you have
You
more
can,
volume, you can stretch the field, and you can hide visual ticks better.
right, like
And musical ticks.
we are always stretching the field, like end zone kind of deal.
Hmm. Well, that's what
Um,
Tarpon tends to do too. I mean, RP1, we
right,
were end zone to end zone.
right.
Madness, same exact thing. Revolution Remix, we kind of compacted, but Pandora, I mean, it was end
Yeah.
zone to end zone. Routinely,
Um,
they do.
but let's move on to 17. Um,
If Matt, hands down, if Madness went to Grand Nats, we would have lost. I don't think that show would make finals.
really?
Not Madness.
I
Love
think
Madness to death, but I don't think so. The
I think
mellophone, we had
we
a
I think it would
we
have
had a
been care I think it would have been Care by Name if the
well,
show was really that bad.
here's my thing. Here's my thing, Mitchell. We had a thing called mellophone cut day. We had eight
Yeah.
mellophones plus an alternate, so nine, that we literally had a day where we forward said, listen, Mellows, we're gonna have a mellophone cut day tomorrow, and all of you are
Yeah.
gonna go down the line, play all the mellophone complex parts, and if
Yeah.
most of you can't play it,
You're
cut.
cut.
So we're playing da 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 cut. Oh, cut. The high brass feature in part two. Oh, cut.
Cut.
Like everything got cut.
I loved 2017 to be honest with you. It was pretty cool. We went to Dayton and finals got rained out, but we beat Avon on prelims because now I'll tell you what, I need to refresh my brain here on who won captions in. So,
17.
in 17 at Dayton, Ohio, the first regional we went to of the year. Avon took music, Carmel took visual, and here's where it gets quirky. Avon and GE or Avon and Carmel tied in GE. Um, but Serenity was such a fun show. I thought it was really cool. I loved the opener. I also really liked uh the closer. The brass feature was hype. I loved playing the brass feature. I thought the brass feature was really neat. Um I thought that I thought that the opener was really cool. The ballad was pretty all right. And then we had a woodwind feature going on in the third movement. Um
And you guys won 2017, right?
yes, we
Gotcha.
oh, hush. We actually went out to California that year and went and competed at the Southern California Regional,
Oh
which
yeah. No, I did like the 2017 Carnival show. I did like that year.
Serenity with the Rocks. We won by 2.5 points in Southern California. And that was more of a fun trip. It was like, okay, compete, here's your medals, go for it, go crazy. Because let's be honest, peace and love to every program. But if Carmel shows up at a Southern California regional, as the way
It's like
Carmel
if you
is,
try to. That's like if you come to Orlando,
right? You're just
because
gonna get,
they're gonna be like, "Ooh, big band, win."
yeah,
Oh, Tarpon. Oh, we love Tarpon here. They're the best band. Oh wait, bigger band. Oop, you
nah,
win.
right.
What happened
And
with
then
Broken
we
Arrow?
won in 17 we won prelims, semis, and finals, and we tied music with Broken Arrow in finals. Then we took
Oh,
visual and GE. Um, but yeah, that was a really fun year. Broken Arrow show that year was really cool. That's
there was
when
no drama that year. 2016 is where all the drama's at.
2017 people kind of were like, okay, yeah, Carmel's winning this. This
There's
is
no
just
drama in 2017.
no, but Avon did go down to
2016.
San Antonio in 2017 and got a fat fourth.
Move to 2016. That's where the drama's at.
16 was interesting. Um, Me being a
Hands
freshman,
down.
trying to figure out
Tarpon
what.
got too cocky. Every Tarpon person says it.
Hmm.
We all got too cocky in 2016, and then
They're
our
like,
finals run was
oh, we're gonna win this for sure.
well, because their prelims and semis were so strong, both of them, and then
No,
finals it
yeah,
just
Carmel and
it.
Avon, I'm pretty sure in prelims. Let me just look this up. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure they tied. Yeah. No,
I
no,
hands
no. I lied. I lied. They tie or Carmel won prelims by 0.75. Tarpon was second. Um, they barely we barely took GE over Tarpon by 0.1. We beat them. We were better in music than them by 0.1, and we took visual over them by 0.55.
and that's what I'm saying is since they
Right.
average all 3 nights, like all three performances,
No, they don't.
and huh?
No, they don't.
By bias, yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
By
okay.
bias, they do.
That's okay.
They care about persistence. They may not average them like that score wise. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
No.
saying they
Right.
average it by who has strong runs every night.
Hmm.
If Tarpon had a strong run, prelims and semis, and if they were thinking and having a very cocky attitude going into finals, saying, "Oh, if they have a very strong run, they could possibly win
Well, I'll tell you
or
what.
get second place."
Carmel and Tarpon tied in semis.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. That's
but
why they got really cocky.
we won the tiebreaker because we won GE over them by 0.1, and then Avon had 0.1 more GE than us.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying. It was very close in 2016,
yeah,
but Tarpon got way too cocky and dropped from
Mason
second
took
and tied for like
Vish.
first down to fucking
Mason took Vish in that one. In semis, and then finals happen, and that's where the madness happens.
Tarpon drops the
Um,
fourth. Think about it. If Tarpon had a strong run, it could have been a split decision between Carmel and Tarpon.
yeah.
And Carmel or Tarpon could have won because of general effect instead of you beating down Avon. Poor Avon.
Oh man, poor Avon. Oh, you lose by 0.00 points. That's tough. Um, we took they took music and Viz, and we took
Well, if
GE.
in drum corps we can have a tiebreaker for a second, why not have a tie or tie for a second? Why can't we have a tie for first?
Well, now that after 2016 they changed the rules, and tiebreaker was GE until 16, and then Avon was fussy that they lost
Everyone threw a fit.
because it's not like we didn't follow the rules. That's how the rules were. It sucks, but that's how the rules were. You
Sorry,
know, sorry.
sorry.
I'll take Kevin, and he can sit in my band room. I'll take my ring. But they got state rings, and then their state rings, their rings because they won semis. It says national champions, and I was just like, okay, all right, scoreboard. Look who won finals, bozos. Um,
Harper got
yeah,
way too cocky because
yeah,
we were coming off of 2014 also winning.
right, yeah, that's fair. The
So
last time you were there, you won,
yeah,
and
and
that's
caged 2015 caged. A lot of people
Cage was
think
cool.
if like a lot of things were happening where Indy was like kind of like inviting Tarpon, hey, come back, and a lot of people say Cage probably would have won too
Mm,
because 2015 Tarpon was just as good as 2014. Great show.
how do I put this? Hebron.
Mm. Well, listen, if Hebron takes it, Tarpon's definitely second with Caged.
I think Hebron should have won 15. I don't think Broken Arrow should have won. But I digress. Uh, but
That's why I
yeah,
wish Tarpon could go every year. I wish it wasn't
yeah,
so expensive.
yeah, I get that. I mean, but
Because I
every
think if they
program
got to
has its
go every
limits.
year, I think if
It'd
they
be
got to go
better.
every year, the shows would be a lot more serious as well.
Oh,
And
100%.
like, because we
And
do a lot of crowd pleasing shows.
not to mention, you would get to see like, I think there would be an uptick in the band. I think there would be more numbers
That
because,
and I think it would be closer between Broken Arrow, Carmel, Avon, Tark. I think it would be even closer. I think with the
well,
competition, all the bands would kind of be okay. Now there's a fourth person that's always in indie, like basically every year. Like,
Broken Arrow does a 2 years on, 1 year off kind of rule.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I know that because
And
they didn't
then,
go in 19, right?
nope,
Yeah, so they're not going to go this next year then.
nope. From what I'm
Dang.
hearing, no.
And what is it? Isn't it rumored Tarpon might go? Something like that.
Not that
Some
I've
junk. I
heard.
don't know.
Not that
I've
I've
just heard
heard.
that. I've heard like every year that Tarpon's going to be going, and I'm like, we do every other year. But we were
Yeah.
like, I've heard that we were supposed to go in 21, but then we didn't because we did Tennessee. We were also supposed to
Ooh.
do Tennessee this last year, but then we didn't. So I don't think we're going to be going, but I think it'd be cool. I mean, but think about it. If we could afford to go to Orlando, Indy, and then also New York, like for weeks at a time, like
Quite literally, you go to Grand Nats and then the next week you're driving up to New York.
yeah,
Or did Tarpon
seriously.
fly to New York? I wonder.
I'm not sure. They may have flown
As I say, driving to New York,
because they
that
didn't need like props and stuff.
right.
Yeah, they probably flew. I mean, when we did Carnegie Hall, we flew, but that's because it
Yeah.
was wind ensemble.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a smaller group.
So I don't know. Who knows? They may have probably they could have had like a semi go up with like instruments or like a trailer go up with instruments and then
Oh,
the
that's
kids
what happened.
flew.
Yeah.
So something like that then.
Yeah.
So they don't have to
Um,
check every instrument onto a plane like sousaphones.
no, God, no, thank you. I would rather cry as a director than put a sousaphone on a plane. Um,
Well, I
I
think that's pretty much it BOA wise.
I mean, outside of Hebron getting robbed both times they've been at Nats in 15 and 19,
They'll get their year.
we'll see. We'll see.
They'll
I
get
think
their
the
year.
top two runners this year are Carmel and Hebron because I know Carmel's packing some heat this year again. Um, we should see. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens, because we don't know if Wando's actually coming to Nats this year. We don't know. I haven't heard anything
Love Wando,
from
but
them
they're not
yet.
going to be like
Oh
a
no, no,
huge
no. I'm just
first
saying.
place threat.
I haven't heard Wando. I haven't heard Wando's plans yet.
Hmm.
Um, I
It will be
wonder.
interesting, but we got plenty of months to look ahead to that.
Oh yeah. Let's
We
talk
got we
drum
got
corps for a second.
DCI to dive into.
Um,
So all we're gonna
so
say, listen, tour premiere is technically today, but tomorrow for us. And him and I have been talking about it the past couple days, and we both agree top fours hands down, not in any order. Blue Devils, Blue Coats, Boston, and Crown. That is top four, correct? We are on the same page.
yes, barring a complete meltdown by someone.
Okay. So now you said earlier that you wanted to just throw a top three of each for both of us out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna throw my top three out. No, you throw your top three because you're gonna say something
Crown
sarcastic
Devils
about mine.
Boston.
Huh?
Crown Devils Boston.
I say and I don't want to like sound biased, but
No, I'm gonna say
I think Boston Crown Devils.
I
I think Boston and Crown are going to have a better package this year than Devils. Their show's boring.
I don't. I'll say it as the Devils appreciator in the room.
Their show's not a Devils show. It's a high
It
school
doesn't seem like a
show.
Devils show. It
How are they
doesn't.
going to get second? Because of
I
the name?
think
Probably.
I think that in the cleanliness. But my explanation for the Boston in third place, I like
I
the
feel like we're going to
music.
see a tie again. I feel
The
like we
music's
will.
good. I have no problem with the music. I
Have you seen the show run?
I have not seen the visual. I
Ooh, so
watched the music in the
you
park.
can't fully judge yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't. I'm waiting to make
Wait
my
till
full
next episode.
thoughts. Right. I'm waiting to make my full assumption and prediction of Boston until I see the visual.
What I'm
My
saying,
crown explanation, show theme is fire. Uniforms, fire. Music,
here's my thing.
fire.
I've
Visual,
seen a
pretty
run through
solid.
of each. I've seen a run through of each. I've seen a Boston run through because I'm a Boston alum.
All right.
I think Boston and Crown are very, very good at their show concepts and putting their music and show to theme out on the field visually. And
Yeah.
that's where they're going to hit heads very clashing. Crown has a very Inferno like show, very Inferno like show, and that's why I'm probably going to love it.
I'm
But
very excited for this
Boston
crown show.
always has these out there things. And think about it last year. We did not expect Boston to do as well as they did. I didn't like the show at first, but when I saw it on
No.
the field, I loved it. But this year, I liked the show music right when I saw it, and when I saw it on the field, I fell in love with it more. But here's the thing. I think Boston's coming off of a really strong year, and they're
They
taking
picked
that
up a
second
lot of
place.
performers.
Yeah, and I think
They picked up the talent quality.
mhm.
And I think that's what's going to get them if they do end up winning this year.
But
It's the talent that they brought in at this point.
well, and here's my thing. The only reason why I, I don't want like my instincts telling me to say Boston Devils crown, but Crown's show and music is so strong that I feel like it pushes above Devils.
I think Crown takes back the yacht.
I think they'll get the out, but I think Boston will probably win. I know this is early season. I'm not trying to be biased, but with how what I've heard's been going on at Boston and like they're fueled. Like it is
I'm not a
they are
huge
wanting it. And you can't even say anything. The
uniforms.
music's better than last year for Boston. I think the music's better than last year.
I don't.
I think it's better than last year.
I don't.
And Devil Show, I think believe it or not, I just like Devil Show this year more than 2018. And that's saying something because I did not like Dreams and
I
Nighthawks.
love Jason Alex. That shit slapped.
I would rather have
Um,
Dreams and Nighthawks beat Boston this year than that show.
it probably would.
Yeah, it probably would, knowing the name
Hey, that
and that
ballad.
the talent that was in drum corps in 2018 too. But here's my thing. I think we're gonna, and the thing is, we haven't seen Blue Coats thing. I've heard it's very similar to last year, as that's their theme they're going to. And I think the judges are going to get tired of it.
I hope they do.
But here's my thing:
I hope they shock
is
them into saying, "Hey, fix your shows, get rid of the
but
acid trip."
but here's my thing: we had Devils, tie, blue in Boston, Crown. I really want to see Crown in Boston hit heads up here and Devils and Coats hit heads down here. But what I feel like is going to end up happening is I feel like, again, without my bias, I think it's either going to be Boston winning Crown, Devils, and Coats, because I think the judges are going to get tired of the Coats theme. I am.
Please.
I am.
I am
Um,
way past tired of it.
or I think it's going to be Devils, Crown, Boston, because of the names, and then Coats. Or
I
I feel like it's going to go Crown, Boston Devils. But I don't know, like personally, that or Crown was technically fourth last year, but the technically third. Like I say third because
I say
two
third.
ties for second. I I just feel like with how much competition between those four, how do you even rank them? I think Coates will be below the other three, but I feel
Hmm.
like we could see another tie personally. At this point, I feel like it's going to be so close that they're going to say, "Oh,
I
well,
think
it
the
was close
top
between
I think the top
Boston and
six is gonna
Coates."
be I think the top six is gonna be weird.
Well, and that's what I was about to get into is fifth place.
Because I don't know who's taking fifth.
I don't think it's Cadets. Cadets show is not it this year.
Did you see it? Did you
I
watch
did.
it?
I did.
My complaint with Cadets, musically, I like the music. I like the sound
The
that they're
music's
making.
fine. It's just
I like what they're doing musically.
the visual book
The
and
visual book seems not it. Um, the drill, I'm just not too in love with the drill this year, but they can change that. John Bilby can just write up and say, because he did this in 19, from what I heard. He literally just straight up said, "All right, here's new closure drill. Uh, I'm not just scrap that. This
they're
is new closure
they're,
drill."
they're going to need to do something like it because that show is just not, it doesn't seem like a Cadets show.
No, it doesn't, and I think they're trying to buy into a new age, and I don't like that.
And I think
Um,
Devils is trying to go kind of more towards what Bluecoats does personally.
my thing about cadets this year is that it seems too much like an indoor show,
Yeah.
and I don't like how the drill is centered in the front half of the field. Last year, they played hits to the backfield. They went to the back left corner of the field, and that was fantastic. They sounded amazing. They looked
Yeah, last
amazing.
year's show is so much better than this
I
one.
love Rear View Mirror. Like that is
I
genuinely one of
think,
my top five, six cadet shows.
and I don't want to say anything out of line right now, but depending on how Cavies, Blue Stars, and Phantom do, I could see,
I listened to
I could,
Phantom today.
huh? You
I
did?
listened to Phantom today. I think musically cadets are ahead of them. I don't know. I haven't seen what Phantom has done visually yet because all I
Uh-huh.
heard was a recording of their parks like music in the park run.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't seen that. I haven't heard anything from Cabbies, but there is someone writing the Cabbies book that I absolutely love and adore, and I know their books. Saucedo
Uh-huh.
is writing their books again.
I think Cavies
So
is going to take fifth. I personally think Cavies is going to take fifth.
I think that's a possibility. If I think for me, it's gonna really come down to what the judges want to reward more. Do they want to
Bad
reward
visual
them?
book,
I was gonna say,
boring visual book.
if we have a scenario where yeah, it's better musically, but Cavi's is better visually, what are they
What do
gonna
they
reserve?
reward?
Right.
Yeah. Well, again, like
And
that,
then
we
Blue
have plenty of
Stars is just
time.
chilling there.
There's plenty of time to change things
I've
and
heard things about
alter.
Blue Stars show. I like the idea. The concept is cool in absentia. That's very cool. I like that. Seems like a
Hmm.
very Blue Stars show. I didn't like last year's. I thought last year's was kind of boring.
It was
I'm kind of,
bland.
that's a better word for it. I think that I'm gonna be very hesitant on what I'm looking for tomorrow or on Friday. I mean, I lied. Or wait, you know what? Just for giggles, I'm gonna look at who's at the premiere Because I want to see who's at the premiere. I got my tickets for Muncie, so if anyone's at Muncie and runs into me, feel free. Okay, so Troopers, Colts, Cavies, Phantom, and Blue Stars. So we will have our answers. We will have our questions answered tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
or
Hey,
technically today. But
yeah, today for y'all.
but my opinion, the Cavaliers, I like what they're doing with their hat. But the one thing that I have an issue with the hat, don't you dare tell me that plume is felt or foam or like a foam kind of thing.
I noticed that.
Dude, dude.
Listen, we'll have plenty of time to critique that next week because next week we're gonna dive into a
Oh, I'm
lot of the
gonna
shows.
rip into that because I
Listen,
swear it needs to be a
next
feather.
week we're gonna have a week worth of shows to go through. We're gonna have a week worth of judge panels and scores and show clips from everybody, and we can kind of more gauge Devils and all that stuff. But again, I've seen three of the top four shows preseason, and I think this. I think it's gonna be a boob, throw it on a dartboard. I think it's gonna be any
My
other
early
year.
season prediction is Crown. I don't
My
think
early
anyone beats
season
Crown.
prediction is either Crown or is either Boston or Crown. I really like both their shows, but I think Boston's coming off of a lot of gas from last year.
I
But
think
then
last year
Devils,
was a down year for
I
Crown.
feel like it's gonna probably be Devils again because of the name. Their show's not as interesting as those two.
I like
And
Tempest Blue a
I
lot more than
guarantee
I
you,
like the
though you don't want
cutouts.
to say it, I guarantee you Blue Coat show will also be more interesting than this Devils show. I guarantee it. This Devil show seems like a high school show.
I'm gonna wait to agree or disagree on that statement
Till
because
you see Blue.
I've got to see that thing
Because who knows?
before
Blue
I.
show, because also remember, Blue also came off of second place last year, too. Because who knows? Blue Coats could win, for all we know. I'm not throwing them in the hat yet
Oh
just because I
no, I'm
haven't
not.
seen the show fully. I've heard some clips. That's about it.
As I say,
But
I want to know what you've heard. I know people in the core, and
um
I haven't even heard anything.
like I've
What
heard a
the
couple
heck?
things here and there, but I'm I mean it will be interesting in the long run to see
Just
who wins. But
doesn't.
and
From
also
what I've
this is my
heard.
last comment. I think Troopers will be in finals again,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if Colts will be. Personally, I think Blue Knights is going to make it back in. Now, I know before I just said I did not think that just because of them going to bent leg, but that they
I
have
like
like
what
a
their show's
really
doing.
good clip
They have
online,
a really good show clip.
and it like
Well, the caption
it's
had.
not fully clean, but they have plenty of time to clean it, and if
Well,
they clean it, that is a final show.
I'll tell you what. The show is a final show. The
They just
guard
need to
looks
get it
good.
up to that.
The bent leg, in regards to the bent leg, their caption had Randall Jeffries, I think that's his name, uh, came from Music City last year.
Yeah.
I think the Blue Knights are already cleaner visually than Music City was at the end of last year.
Well, and I'm not trying to say anything against
No,
Music,
no,
not
no,
Blue
that's
City.
no, not
Music
at
City
all.
is,
Not
but
at
Blue
all.
Stars has a lot of that talent too from last year.
Yes, and they have
And
one of
I
my
guarantee
favorite
you,
encore
they're
tunes, just a
running
side
off of
note.
gas too.
They're
They're
already
running off of
pissed.
gas, but a different type of gas than
They're
Boston is
pissed.
because they didn't make finals.
They're pissed. Crossman's pissed.
And I feel like it's gonna. I don't know. I mean, what? There's an extra spot in there now since Vanguard's gone, but I feel like it's
Rest in
gonna be
peace.
Blue Knights, um, like Blue Knights in finals, Troopers in finals, and it's gonna be either a toss up between Crossman and Colts. Maybe Music City. Who knows? Music City could come in there and just snag it too. Like
I
I,
like what their show idea is in Music City, but I'll tell you what, from an inside look at Colts, I'm not super worried about them missing finals. I'll say it.
you think they'll get it?
I really like their show, and I think their show concept is pretty cool. It's a very cool, it's a very, I mean, the show concept leaves a little bit to be desired. Sure, whatever. And when I hear a heart monitor now, that gives me PTSD to Avon 22. Um, but same thing. Because Richard Henshaw is on both the Avon and the Colts design team. but I really like what the Colts are doing. I really
I
like
s- I think Blue Knights are
they
still
have a
going to be
jazz
better.
movement. They have a jazz movement that I absolutely love and adore, and it absolutely goes hard. It's a Pat Metheny piece. Love it.
Pat
Um,
Metheny, you can't go wrong with that.
no, no. Um, but I really think the Colts is in. If Blue Knights makes it in again, good for Blue Knights. And I know I've talked to you personally about Splanta. Splanta's an interesting case.
Well, and
I
this is
don't
the thing.
know.
The finals bubble's bigger now, but there's also one more spot now since Vanguard's not marching.
Who the hell
But I
knows?
but personally, I feel like the bottom three, I feel like it's gonna go Troopers, Knights, Colts. I feel like Knights is gonna shoot back
That's
up,
fine.
personally. But and again, that's probably gonna change after I see everyone show on the field. Like I may be like, oh well, maybe Crossman will get in there. Maybe
I know a
Colts will
couple
be
people
up
in
there with
Crossman this year,
Troopers
actually.
again.
A couple people in their color
And
guard.
And who
Um,
knows, Splanta might jump in or Music City might jump in. We never know. I mean, Music City's doing straight leg, so that's new for them. So it's, I mean, should work out in their favor, I
I'm
think.
not nearly as high on I'm not as high on Crossman as I am on Blue Knights. I will say that.
I think if one of those two get in, I think it will be Blue Knights.
Uh-huh. I don't think Colts drops. I don't think Troopers drops. Because I am very excited for Troopers. I will say that. After last year, okay,
Just saying.
there was an interesting comment that was made. Let me see. I forget what the Troopers have said something. Let's see. Apparently they said they're already looking ahead to 2024 is what they said.
What are they gonna do?
Um
A part three, bro?
uh I don't know. It's not a part two, but I saw a
Well,
comment.
it's kind of like a part two.
Okay, Americana shows are the Troopers thing. Um, I think
I
that they're
think of
gonna
it
be
as a
good.
part two, personally. It's
And
just
what's even better is that the Troopers will be the first core on tomorrow night or
heck
tonight
yeah,
if you're on Wednesday.
I will be
So
watching.
I am so thrilled to see that. I is 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow or technically today, and I will be sitting in my basement watching this shows because holy crap, I am so excited. Um, I'm very, very, very excited for. It's kind of weird though. I'm gonna be honest, not seeing Boston at the tour premiere because I know I saw Boston at the tour premiere last year. I saw Blue Coats at the tour premiere last year, like on stream, and I was like, "What the crap is this?"
Yeah, but I
You
feel like
remember me
so.
calling you. You remember me calling you saying, excuse me, what is this? Why is this what the Blue Coats are doing?"
Just wait. Just wait, dude.
It's
I
gonna
think
drive
it's
me
gonna be
crazy.
funnier. I think it's gonna be funnier than last year.
Oh God. Yeah, expect a call from me tomorrow night.
I'm gonna mute him. I'm gonna put you on
No.
mute.
Dang. But yeah,
He
all
just
right.
said nope.
Well, we talked about BOA. We are very excited for BOA this year. I am very excited personally for
Yeah,
Hebron.
we got plenty of time for that.
We got
But
plenty of time to talk, but
now it's drum corps time.
it is drum
Hopefully,
corps
you
time.
guys enjoy the tour premiere this evening, and make sure to tune on next week when we got plenty of shows to kind of dive into. That next week will probably be skipped, but that just means the following week because he's on vacation. He's gonna be in Hawaii, but then that next week's gonna be like a long episode because we're gonna have like 2.5 weeks of drum corps to cover, and then we should be up and running weekly until whenever, basically. So that's the plan. So make sure following all the social medias. Make sure you leave comments below
Mm-hmm.
what shows you think are going to be top three. Finals bubble, who's going to take fifth and sixth. Like, who do we think's top six? It's
Right.
early season. Make those predictions now and
We're gonna have
come
to figure
back
that
when
out, yeah.
finals is announced. And then you can be like, I was right. That was me. Uh, Maybe you'll win a free t shirt. We'll see. Maybe we'll do a little giveaway. I don't know. Um,
Free
but
stuff.
besides for that, thanks for tuning in and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace out.